I have to admit, I have been missing the railway while I've been making these films. It'd be nice to get down there again. If only there was some sort of virtual way of doing it, eh? Oh, I know. While the line is closed to the public, we still run occasional inspection trains along the line to keep an eye on everything and to make sure all the stations are where we left them. Now, our operations manager Richard has been driving these trains and had the brilliant idea of sticking a camera on the front so we can give you a virtual tour of the line. So, well, let's do it. We're starting our virtual journey at Alton, where we share the station with South Western Railway. It's usually possible to get a train from Waterloo to Alton, come in on platform 2, and within a few steps you're on platform 3 and one of our trains. Alton station is capable of running automatically. It's doing it at the moment. The system knows where the train is and where it wants to go, so it changes the points and changes the signals to keep everything moving. You may recognise this location from a previous film. This is Butts, the site of the new bridge and the old junction. If you look off to the left, you'll see the old Meon Valley line branching away off towards Fareham. The Basingstoke and Alton Light Railway branches off just to the right but is not as noticeable. This point also marks the start of the 1 in 60 gradient up to Medstead. We're now on the 1 in 60 gradient up towards Medstead. Now 1 in 60 essentially means for every 1 unit you go up, you go 60 units across. This doesn't sound like much, but in railway terms that is steep, very steep. In fact, in BR days it used to be said that taking a train over the Watercress Line was like taking a train over the Alps. Since the gradient of the line hasn't changed, we stuck with its name because it still represents a challenge to this day. On the right we're just passing a new signal which hasn't been commissioned yet, which is why there's a bag on top of it, but it will be part of a new signalling system when Medstead is redone. Now if you are a railway fan, you'll notice that from now on we are going to be going through quite a few red signals. Do not worry, this is because the train is run under what's called a line occupation, which is a safe system of work that allows limited operational use of the railways, which is completely under the control of the occupation holder, or in our case, it's under the control of the driver. We now find ourselves in Medstead and Falmark Station. Just past the top of the line at a height of 650 feet above sea level, it is the highest station in the south of England. We're now at the top of the Alps, so we have a 1 in 60 gradient back down heading towards Ropley. Because we've got steep gradients both sides of the station, this is certainly not the place you want to have a runaway. Unfortunately, 120 years ago, that's exactly what happened when the rear end of a freight train broke away and the wagons careered down the gradient. Not good. The cutting we've just run through was dug by hand back in 1865. The cutting took a year and a half to complete, and the spoil from the cutting was then used to create the embankment which we're running across now. Ingenious idea, really. Ropley is the location of our engineering headquarters. Usually you'd find staff and volunteers working hard to restore and overhaul our rolling stock. Here's a trick for you. Movie magic is wonderful. It allows you to do lots of things. So, using movie magic, we're going to take what started off as a cloudy day. We are now going to make it sunny. Are you watching carefully? I love it when that works. When you're next to Ropley, look out for the topiary. That was created over 100 years ago and has been trimmed, cared for and maintained, even in preservation. If you have a look at this bridge we're about to go under, you'll notice it's actually wide enough for 2 tracks. That's because the line, when it was being built, was originally designed to have 2 tracks on it. Unfortunately, construction costs got in the way, so only a single line was ever installed. But that's why the bridges are bigger than they should be. Just like Medstead, the cutting we're going through was dug entirely by hand, with the spoil being used to create the embankment we've just been on. Now, the top layer of earth around here is actually chalk. So next time you're out, have a look at the embankments. You should be able to see some of the chalk peeking through the bushes. And this finally brings us into Alsford Station. On the right you can see the cattle dock, where livestock used to be loaded for transportation around the country. Now, all the lamps on Alsford Station are actually gas lit, and they have been that way ever since. Just think, 155 years of almost being able to read the newspaper. We're now going to head under the footbridge to show you right towards the end of the line, and some sections you may not have seen. Do you remember at Medstead I mentioned a runaway train? Well, this is where it ended up. It rolled all the way down the hill into Alsford and collided with some wagons in a siding. And this was the result. That crash happened on May the 1st, 1900. Now, you'll be pleased to know that modern safety systems are a lot more, well, safe. For example, in today's day and age, if a train were to become divided, a system would automatically apply the brakes to all vehicles, bringing everything to a nice controlled stop. Food for thought. And we now find ourselves at the end of the line, quite literally. Originally this would have continued on towards Itchenavus and Winchester, but unfortunately that's lost now. So this is what we know as the end of the Watercress Line. And there you have it, that was our line weaving through the glorious Hampshire countryside. Now there is actually a lot more to see, but we only have so much time in each video. So what we're going to do for all of you keen beans out there is divide the video into 3 sections, also to Ropley, Ropley to Medstead and Medstead to Alton. And we're going to run the route again, giving you as much detail as you can possibly want and giving you even more to look out for on your next trip. So stick around for that. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching again. If you would like to help support us in this unusual time, then please visit watercressline.co.uk/support. Apart from that, thanks for watching guys, stay safe, and I'll see you next time for Things You Now Know.